Hey techies, welcome back in Tech AVP channel. So techies, in last tutorial we discussed about some basic interview questions for the SDET role which are related to the manual testing. Okay, and today also we are going to discuss some manual testing questions which are really important for the perspective of the uh, kind of terminology about the software testing. What are terminology we can use in that software testing, like uh, what is the interface testing, regression testing, alpha testing, beta testing, performance testing, load testing. So we can discuss all these questions in this tutorial. Okay, so let's start. But guys, going to before next step, please like, share and subscribe this channel to get more amazing stuff about SDET role interview question. So let's start. So the first question is, very first question is, it's not a first question, it's a 26th question. 25 we already covered in the last tutorial. If you are not gone through this one, please take a look on this video so that you can get better understanding. In that tutorial we can discuss about what is the testing, what do you mean by quality, what is the difference between testing and quality, okay, what do you mean by test, okay, all the things. Also we have to cover one important interview question. Most of the time interviewer asks what factor you will consider before purchase a mobile device. If you are going to buy a mobile device, so what things you can consider. So already we discussed in the last tutorial. Please go through this video to get better understanding how we can answer. Also we discussed about the basic test case for the pencils. Okay, what are the basic test cases for the pencil? Okay, what are the unit testing, what is the smoke testing, what is the sanity testing, we already discussed in the last tutorial. Okay, so now in this tutorial we are going to discuss about these questions. Okay, the very first question, means its 26th question, is what is interface testing. What is interface testing? So the interface testing is a verifying communication and data transfer between two different system. Means it might be two models. Suppose you have an application. Okay, so you have an application. Okay, in this application you have a login page, you have a sign up page, you have a dashboard, you have add to cart, or you have to be a payment gateway. So okay, once you get the login, so that time API will work. It call your credential, it validate you are authorized to access this portal or not. Okay, so this one is called interface testing. Okay, for example, if you are booking a ticket from the goibibo.com, and where ticket is booked using the web service, airlines showing flight time, destination, availability of the seats and fare to travel to destination from starting point. Okay, from starting point to your destination point. Okay, the next question is, what is regression testing? Really very frequently asked this question. Most of the time interviewer asks this question, what do you mean by regression testing? So regression testing is conducted on the build after bug are fixed. Build to verify that code change to fix bug has not adversely affect functionality and there should not another defect. Simply means, if in simple terminology, what we can say that in regression testing we cover all the test cases, but in the regression testing we consider the things, the current bug fix will not impact existing functional which is already previously working in working condition, so it will not affect. Okay, after fixing the bug. Got it? The next question is, what is alpha testing? Alpha testing is a type of acceptance testing. It's done in the UAT environment. Okay, where testers are employees of the organization who has built the application. These tests are conducted to verify that all the issues found have been resolved and have not reoccurred. Focus on this one. Have not reoccurred before releasing to the client. Means where we can do this testing. Alpha testing is in the internal environment. Okay, then next one is a beta testing. Most frequently asked this question, beta testing is a test conduct at the client side. Okay, after application is deployed, and after application deployed means application deployed on the production environment. Got it? And hand over to client means we have deployed application on the production. Okay, suppose we are building an application, XYZ application. Okay, at the initial level where we can test, here internal stakeholders will work. Internal stakeholders will check the build is as per requirement or not.
The build is as per your requirement or not. Okay, in the alpha testing, it's an internal environment. Okay, it's an internal environment. Okay, got it. It's an internal environment, and this one is your production environment, real time environment, guys. Okay, don't be confused here. Most of the time can it get confused. Alpha testing we have done internally, and there are some kind of people who from the client side as well as your project manager also involved in the alpha testing, and in beta testing purely client involves. Okay, got it. The next question is, what is performance testing? In the last tutorial we also discussed about the performance testing. Performance really impact your application performance. Performance means how soon you can get the data, how soon you can retrieve data from the application. Suppose you are looking for some kind of some items on the Flipkart. Okay, you have searched, suppose you are searching for the mobile application, mobile. Okay, and you can just make a search mobile. Then how soon these will be reverted in your web page, how soon these are present on the web page. This will called performance testing. This comes under the performance testing, and this one is a non-functional testing. Performance testing is non-functional testing, where latency, speed or delay in the accessing or loading the page, responsiveness and stability of the application, network stress or a load test are carried out to check efficiency performance of the application. Got it? The next one is, most of the time interviewer asks, what do you mean by performance testing, what do you mean by load testing, what do you mean by stress testing? So the load testing is a part of performance testing, but okay, also stress testing is a part of performance testing, but these both are different. Okay, in load testing, it is non-functional testing in which behavior of the application observed when it is exposed to load. Okay, for example, verify behavior of the Netflix portal during movie streaming by viewer between evening 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. in that specific time zone. You know, that time more crowd on the Netflix. Okay, or if or suppose that there today is Sunday. Okay, on the Sunday there is a every corporate employee is free, so they are, what they are doing, they are just watching movies on the Netflix. So that in this, at this time we can check the performance, we check the load, how much your system is capable to handle the load. It will not crash. Okay, this is called load testing. And if we talk about the stress testing, the stress testing is also non-functional testing, is conducted by subjecting an application to overload to identify verify till how long system is sustained to stress. Hence name is how much your system will be sustained. Load, suppose I know my application is used by the 100 user, but suddenly it increased to 1000. Okay, suddenly it increased to 1000. Can your system is capable to handle this load, is called stress testing. Okay, for example, during the Amazon festival season sales, subjected to overload the user searching time when the expected access and the portal and the booking newly arrived mobile devices or the new launching devices. Okay, that time web service will fail to handle such heavy load. Okay, means on the occasion of, suppose now we are in the Diwali season. Okay, so XYZ company or a Samsung or a Vivo, any XYZ company launch a new mobile in the market. So regularly 100 users are using the web Amazon application, but on specific day 1000 users are coming. So in that case, how much your system is capable to handle this test is called stress testing. Got it? Let's move on to the next question. The next question says that what is security testing? Security testing is the testing of the application against vulnerability and from the hacker. How effectively protective software like firewall, antivirus installed in the data protection and vulnerability of the login system by SQL injections. Okay, security testing, generally how we can perform the security testing. In security testing, what we can do, in the login page, we can try to log in with the SQL injections. There is a combination of SQL injection. I'll create a separate video on the security testing, how we can perform the security testing, what are the basic use case for the login page, what are the basic use case for the your URL enumeration. Okay, how you can prevent all things. Okay, separate video I will create, but for the timing you can just understand. Security testing is the testing of the application against vulnerability of the login system by the SQL injection. No one can be able to access the login, any one user, if a user is trying to enter the SQL injections. Okay, SQL injections are in the form of 0 1 0 1. Okay, these are in the form of 0 1. Separate video I will create. Okay, you can do one thing, put comment in the comment box. Okay, so that it will motivate me. Okay, definitely I will create for you. Okay, next one is static testing. Important interview question. Important, very important, very very important. What do you mean by static testing and what do you mean by dynamic testing? In static testing, what we can do, software of the application tested without executing code, such as code review, code coverage, business logic is properly taken care of, called static testing. Means we can just reviewing our code. We are not executing our code. We are just reviewing our code. It's called static testing. Variables declared but not used in the code. Suppose we have declared a int a equals to 10. Okay, but this variable is not used. Okay, this variable is not, it's unless we can review all these things in the code. Okay, that's why it's called static testing. Unreachable code, syntax violation, code structure approved in the organization. Tools like, there are the multiple tools, code compare, coverity, parasoft used for the static testing analysis. Okay, got it. Dynamic testing. In the dynamic testing, what we can do, we can execute the software. To validate is your application is running perfectly or not. Okay, for the dynamic testing, application should have compiled code. Compiled code means we can execute our code, we can run the application and execute. In order to run the application, various parameters such as CPU, memory utilization, latency, or the time taken to output and analyzed and recorded. Also we can check the performance here, how soon your data will be retrieved. If you are searching something, then how soon it will be reverting on the web page. Okay, so this one is called dynamic testing, means we can execute code. And in the dynamic testing, what we can do, unit testing, integration testing, system testing, and acceptance testing. What these are, we already discussed about this one in the last tutorial. If you are not gone through, please take a look in this video so that get better understanding. Unit testing is done by the development environment, the developer environment. Integration testing, in the integration testing we have to check integrity of the model, login page is properly connected with your dashboard or not. Okay, in the system testing we check whole the system. And acceptance testing done by your project manager. Okay, the application build it as per the requirement or not. Okay, got it. The next question is, what is compatibility testing? Compatibility testing are conducted to verify that software run on various environment. Guys. Suppose you are launching an application, it's a mobile application or it's a web application. Let's take example first, web application. So if you are launching an application, web application, so you have to ensure that it should work on the Firefox, it should work on the Chrome browser, it should work on the Safari browser as well. Okay, and Opera browser as well. And if you are launching an application for the mobile device, then it will be application run on your Samsung device, your Vivo device, also Samsung in the different versions. Okay, versions, even operating system. Is your software capable to run on the version 8? Is your software capable to run in the latest Android version 15? Also same in the iOS and the Mac operating system, network browser like Firefox. Okay, so all the things we can consider in the compatibility testing. And what do you mean by reliability testing? Already we discussed about that. Testing produce quality and quality produce reliability. And if we talk about the reliability, so then reliability testing is carried out in order to confirm the software displayed reliable output, that is same irrespective of the test environment, operating system, browser, etc. Okay, what do you mean by okay, techies. So did you get reliability testing? What is reliability testing? Means reliable output that is same irrespective of the test environment, operating system. Okay, got it. And what do you mean by compliance testing? Really important question. Generally these questions are asked in the banking sector. in the fintech domain. Most of the time this question is asked by the manager. This one is a manager level round interview question. Manager most of the time ask this question: what do you mean by compliance testing in the fintech domain? So compliance testing is non-functional testing that validates the software design meet all the prescribed standard and described in the requirement document. For example, vehicle is North America and made according to the Canadian Environment Protection Act, whatever act. Okay, and under this act, Environment Canada has authority regulate emission or the road engine. Suppose, for example, you guys are using Google Pay. Okay, so there is some set of the compliance testing. How you can transfer data from one account to another account, how you can transfer data from one mobile number to another mobile number. There are some certain rules guided by the or described by the government. So you have to be approach these rules. It's called compliance testing. Got it? So let's move to the next question. What is localization testing? Localization testing that verify application be used in specific region. Okay, tests include user interface language, currency format, date, time format, specific continent, country having particular language dominance. Means, what do you mean by this one? Suppose we are building application for the Japan. Okay, so this we are building application for the Japan. So everything means you mean say that text, time format, everything should be in the Japanese format, not in the English, not in the Hindi, or not in the XYZ. Okay, so purely it will be Japanese or it will be Chinese. Okay, for example, in case of software developed for the specific Middle East, language will be Arabic, currency being Rial and Dirham for the United Arab Emirates. Date format is also referred to the Saudi Arabia. Okay, DDMYY, or in some of the country they are follow YY MMDD or MMDDYY. So you have to do these things. It's called localization testing. Okay, localization testing means application built for the specific reason. Okay, application built for the specific reason. What is a test case? Most of the time candidate get confused. What do you mean by test case? What do you mean by test scenario? So test case is a set of instructions that set to follow to validate particular feature should fulfill requirements specified in software requirement document. Test case can be derived from requirement traceability matrix, which is derived from required document. Got it? Test case means these are the actions how we can test the application. How we can test the application. Got it? How we can test the application. Test cases are actions, and test scenario tells us how we can do this one. And test case says that what we can do, what we have done. Sorry. Test scenario says that what we can do. Test case tells us what we can done. How we can done is called test case. Okay, got it? Let's move to the next question. Important question. What column are present in the test case template? This one is a really asked for the fresher. This question is for the fresher. Okay, because fresher candidates are not much aware about the test case format, but there is no some specific certain guidelines or some specific certain rules in the testing. You have to be build your test case template in this way. There is no set. Also, you can build your test case on the notepad, on the Excel sheet, on the Word document, anywhere. It's not a hard and fast rule. But yeah, there is some common things in the test case. First one is the test case ID, requirement traceability matrix ID, scenario, for which scenario you are going to be prescribed, requested. What is basically requirements? What are the prescribed requirements? Test steps, what steps you have to be follow. Test data, expected result and actual result. Also, this one is an important interview question. Most of the time interviewer asks, what do you mean by expected result and actual result? Expected result tells us feature being tested. Example, welcome page with the menu of the other feature should be displayed after successful login into the application. But actually what you are getting, expected as per the requirement. Expected as per the requirement, but once you have to execute your software, once you have to be run your software, so that time what you are getting output is called actual result. Okay, so this one is a really important question, guys. Focus here. Focus here, focus on this one question. Okay, if we talk about expected results, suppose we have the requirement for the login page. So what is expected? Once you have to enter invalid username password, then it should throw the error. But if you enter valid username password, then it will be login. But actually what happened? If you enter invalid username password, then what happened? It's not throwing the error, it's directly getting the login. So here your actual and expected get mismatch. Got it? Got it, guys? Okay, let's move to next question. The next one is what column are important in the test case? What columns? Test case ID, test scenario ID, descriptions means prerequisite is okay. Test steps, test data, expected actual result. Already we discussed status and mark. Status mark means pass or fail. Is your test case pass or is your test case fail? Or there is a one more, pass, fail, and hold. In some of the cases we can hold the test case. If we find any bug, if we got any bug or there is some occurrence in the execution, so for the time we can do hold the test case. So basically we have three fields: pass, fail, and hold. Okay, pass is always green, fail is always red, and hold is always in the yellow. Got it? Got it? Next question: what test case management tool you have used? Okay, so most of the organization, Jira tool is used. Okay, Jira is used for the test management or the case management. It's a project management tool basically. But yeah, there is a one more important interview question. Can you let me know the name of organization? Who built the Jira? Jira is built by Atlassian. It's a product by Atlassian. Okay, also test link there. Okay, explain main element of the use case. What is the use case? Use case. Okay, actor is use case. Is end user, single group or people interacting with the process. Okay, system is process required reach final outcomes. Goal is successful, user outcome. Got it? Got it? Move to the next question. What is test scenario? What is test scenario? Test case we already discussed. Let's move to the test scenario. I already informed you. Most of the time candidate get confused in the term of test scenario and test cases. I was created separate video for the test scenario and test cases. You have to just go through. I will provide the link of in the description box as well. Okay, so then you can get better understanding about the test strategy, test planning, test scenario, and test case. Okay, the test scenario is a functionality or feature that can be tested. It also provides high level idea of what need to be tested. In order to create scenario, we need to set test case where we can understand feature of the application and any shortcoming of the application. Got it? Means what means about the test scenario? Suppose you have a login page. Got it? You have a login page. You have a login page. Just give me one. Let me note down here. Login page. You have a login page. Okay. So what are the test scenario for this one? Verify login with valid username and password. Verify login with invalid username password. Only two scenario. And what are the test case for this one? First, validate login with valid username password. Validate login with invalid username password. Okay, but to test the login page we can use decision table. Most of the time interviewer asks this question. Suppose you have a login page, username, password, and this one is your submit button. How you can test this page? So candidate tells that time, okay, we are doing this thing, XY thing. We can enter valid username, invalid password, or valid username, valid password, invalid username, valid password, invalid password, valid username. Multiple scenario they tells. But guys, there is a simple answer. We can refer decision table. Decision table. If you have kind of these field only, username, password. Suppose truth table. Truth table. You know about the truth table? True means output will be true. Valid username, valid password, get login. Okay. Invalid username, means false. Invalid username, valid password means false. Okay, valid username, invalid password, false. Invalid username, invalid password means false. This is called truth table. Got it? Truth table. Simply answer. Okay. What do you mean by positive test case and negative test case? So the positive test case ensure that using valid data application perform required output as per expectation or not. With positive test case, tester decide that feature provide work if provided with the valid data or not. Is called positive. Positive means it happy flow. Negative test, this one is a positive flow. True. This one is a positive flow. Okay, and this one is a negative flow. False, true. Output will be false, and here you get the error once you are entering invalid username but the valid password. So in that case, what you get? The page should throw the error message. Okay, suppose you are entering valid username and invalid password. So in that case, what you get? Again you are getting the error. This is called negative. Only one positive here, and these are the negative test case. Got it? Move to the next question. What is behavior driven testing? What is behavior driven testing? Behavior driven testing focus more on the user behavior of a certain condition. Say how printing a document in the case, she receive a message or the page area of the output of the margin. Okay, so behavior, how this application will be behave once you are using this application on the Chrome browser, you are using this application on the Firefox browser, you are using this application on the Safari browser, Opera browser, or same thing with the mobile application. You are using the same application on the Samsung device with the latest version, and the same application you are using with the Samsung device but the previous version and the least one version. Least one version means 8th version. Okay, it will be support 8th version to till 15th version Android. Okay, got it? What do you mean by acceptance testing? Acceptance testing is a final level of the testing. This one is a level, guys. We already discussed about this one. First level is unit test. Got it? Second level is integration testing. Third level is system testing. Fourth level is acceptance testing. Or simply we can say that UAT, user acceptance testing, UAT environment. Okay, acceptance testing is the final level of the software testing, where purpose of test is to analyze if software feature is compliance with the business requirement and can deliver to the client. Does all the feature function as expected? Here we do not perform the positive or negative. We have to just check the positive flow here. Okay, we do not perform here functional non-functional testing. We can just check the happy flow. Is your software as per the customer or client requirement or not? Okay, so this one is called acceptance testing. So I hope guys you enjoy this video. Okay, please share, subscribe, like this channel to get more amazing stuff about SDET role interview question. In next tutorial we also discuss about some 25 questions which is really important to crack the interview. So please stay tuned, like, share and subscribe the channel to get more amazing stuff about SDET role interview question. Goodbye, have a nice day.